In this tutorial, we're looking at creating an enemy mothership that needs to be destroyed. So we've brought in a graphic that we're going to use to be able to do that. We'll now look at the behaviors that we need to place on that object. First thing that we have is it waiting. Now I've got it waiting for 2 seconds, but you would increase that period of time, or you'd look at creating a timer that's checking for your score to reach a certain value. And at that point, then we move the ship into place. So I've moved the ship into place and I'm moving it to a point that sits it pretty much so that you see half of the ship and it's sitting at the top of the screen. So you can play with this. I've got it coming down slowly, sort of thing, so it's taking 3 seconds to do so. It'll pass over the other objects that we have on the screen so that it creates the idea that our enemy ship is coming down onto the screen. It has a patrol, so it's going to move left and right as the ship comes down and sits there, and it'll be hovering there. Then we need to set up how we're going to destroy the mothership. Now the mothership's going to need to take some damage. It's not going to be destroyed in one shot. So we need to use a box container. So the box container is called damage. Its default value is 0. We're looking to see when it gets hit by a bullet. Okay, when we get hit by a bullet, our damage increases. Okay, so let's set that up firstly. So we can connect this up to add value. Add value is going to take our damage and it's going to add 1 to it. So we drag that into there and change that value so that it's got 1 in the box. So that's adding 1 to it. We need to take the result of that. We need to put it back into the damage. So we take the link out of the add values and we drag it over into the box, and we'll add another option into there for us to be able to store the value. So now that's updating our damage, and our damage will increase from 1 to 2 to 3 and so forth. Once we've added an image, we need to check if that amount is at 5, for example, or you could make it 10 depending on how many shots you want to make it so that it's actually going to get destroyed after that period of time. So we need to check to see if our damage, so let's click on our if statement, take the damage into the first cell. If that is equal to 5, so it's going to take 5 shots basically before it gets destroyed. If that's the case, then the object is going to be destroyed. And that's going to allow us to shoot 5 times and then destroy the object. Other things that we might want to add to this, we want to make it look like the ship has been damaged. So we could add explosions and that sort of thing into there. So when it gets hit, we might have an explosion. So that could be coming off after it's been hit, because at the moment there's no effects there. It's just the bullet's going to hit it, and we're not going to see any result. But we might want to have some explosion about where that bullet is hit. Okay, so we've determined a couple of issues with the way we've got things set up. So one of the things is the ship is sitting up the top. If we have bullets that don't hit something, then they're going to hit the mothership. We may be able to change our bullets, maybe the distance that the bullet shoots so that it gets destroyed so that it doesn't hit that, but this is another way that we can overcome that. So we've got a behavior ignore bullet, okay, and we're going to turn that behavior off once our ship has moved into position, okay. Patrolling doesn't start, I've changed that slightly, the patrolling doesn't start until we've waited the 2 seconds or whatever period of time that you're going to have to make that event trigger. But as long as we're ignoring bullets, we're not going to get destroyed. And then we turn off that behavior after we've moved into position, and that gets our ship working in a correct way and flying down, and then we can get destroyed. Okay, so some changes to what we want to happen. What we've got now is our original graphic has a glow around it, so it's providing sort of like a shield. And then after 2 shots, and you would make this more, but after 2 shots, it's going to change the graphic, okay, back to an image that doesn't have a shield around it. And then after 6 shots, so we've got another if statement in here, and we're looking to see that after 6 shots, that it actually destroys the object. Okay, so just looking at how our gameplay works, if I play this for you, we can destroy objects here. Here's our object. 2 hits, it changes graphics back to the one that, and then needs 4 hits of that before it actually becomes destroyed. So this is how you can create this sort of gameplay in your game.